Hello, y'all. This is the next video in our home buying series. We're going to be going over some house hunting tips. Going to give you a few pointers for your home buying search along the way. Really just kind of like guide you in the right direction on what you need to do. House hunting, it can definitely be exciting, but it could be a challenging task in the home buying process. It's more than just looking at pictures online. You have to take a lot of careful consideration in what you want and what your needs are. And this article will offer valuable information in regards to house hunting and help you effectively search for homes, both online and in person. That way, you can move into the house that you truly like and not get something that you end up moving into and you turn your nose up to. Now, in this video, we're going to go over 10 pointers that I'm going to give you that will help make your home buying process a lot smoother as far as house hunting. First and foremost, what you want to do is you want to establish your priorities. Make sure that you have a list of like haves and things that you don't necessarily have to have. Consider things like location, how many beds and baths that you want in the home, square footage, size of the lot, your budget obviously is important as well. These are things that you want to have like laid out and pretty much written down ahead of time before you get to physically viewing the homes. Secondly, you want to set a realistic budget. Determine your budget early in the process. Make sure that you speak with a loan officer to get approved for the loan. See how much it is that you're able to afford, and then you can work within those parameters. This will help you save a whole lot of time and focus on homes that are actually in your price range that you qualify for. Thirdly, you want to look at into online resources. So there are plenty of websites out there that many people use. Things like Realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin. These are all sites that have, real estate listings posted on them. You can take a look at the homes through the photos. You can look at some of the details that they may have on the website as far as the specifics of the home. And that will help you make a sound decision as well. Virtual tours are something that is also available to you. Not on every home, but they are out there. Put you in a position where you can look at the house without physically having to be there. You can basically see things from the comfort of your own home. Lastly, you can also set alerts and notifications. That way you can get, homes sent to you via email as soon as they hit the market. That way you can make a decision as soon as possible if it's something that you're interested in taking a look at. Now, the fourth task that you want to do in this process is make sure that you look into any real estate apps that are out there. So you have Trulia, Homes.com. You also have the MLS at your disposal when it comes down to like if you're working with a real estate agent. That way you can get up-to-date information on the properties and the listings as far as how long they've been out on the market, and other details as far as like, utilities and improvements on the land and the property and things of that nature as well. Number 5, you want to consider working with a real estate agent. We have access to the MLS. Obviously, we make things a lot more convenient for buyers who are looking to purchase a home. We have access to the latest listings. And obviously, as a real estate agent, it's important for us to have good negotiation skills as well. That way, we have the ability to save you money and time in the process on your home buying journey. Number 6, you want to explore the neighborhood in person. So that means whether you go there in the morning, in the midday, or at night on your own accord, I would also recommend that. That way you get a feel for the neighborhood on your own and not just at a time like if you're viewing homes that are, if you're viewing houses at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, some people aren't even home. Children aren't home from school. You don't really know how the neighborhood is because it's quiet at that time. Another way to explore the neighborhood in person is to go to open houses. Various listings have these to drum up activity and to get the home sold. Like I said, you could drive around as well to kind of get a feel for the surrounding areas of the property. That way you know what you're dealing with. You can kind of see if there's, any type of evidence of crime in the area or homelessness, things like that might become a concern to somebody who is looking to purchase a home. Now, number 7, what you want to do is you want to make sure you document your visits. And what I mean by that is, when you're looking at these homes physically, feel free to take photos of your own. If there's any personal notes that you might have or want to store in the back of your mind, I would recommend, keeping that on something like your smartphone or a notepad or something of that nature. That way you can kind of keep records of everything that you're like noticing and observing. Number 8, you also want to be patient and be flexible. House hunting is a process. Sometimes people don't, you're not always going to walk out to the first property that you see, make an offer, everything get accepted, and move into it. So sometimes it does take a couple of homes to take a look at before you come up with your final decision and make an offer. That's something that you just want to be aware of. Be willing to adapt your criteria if necessary as well. Number 9, what you want to do is consider your future needs. These are things like, if you're somebody who plans on having, additional people live in the house, if you plan on extending a family, if you already have one, or having children at some point, that's something you're going to want to pay attention to. If you plan on having 2 or 3 kids and you have 2 right now and you're going to have a third one, then it's going to make sense for you to have, a certain number of bedrooms to anticipate, someone else being in the home at some point in time as well. So just be mindful of that. Number 10, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get a professional inspection done. Now, this is something that is not necessarily mandatory. You do have some people who opt to not get an inspection done, but I would always recommend my buyers get an inspection done. That way you know the ins and outs of what is okay with the house, what could be faulty or not working in the home. And that's something that you have the ability to negotiate repairs if necessary. Not every home is going to have, damages or things that need to be repaired. It's more of a case-by-case basis, but that's something that is always out there. And it's also negotiable as well if you do need repairs. In conclusion, house hunting can be a very exciting process. Following the steps that I've given you in this video, that puts you in a position where, you're more than prepared to find your dream home. You also just have to understand that this is a very large investment, if not the biggest investment that you'll make in your lifetime. So it's important to take your time. Do not rush things. Make sure that you do a thorough amount of research before, going out there and making an offer on a particular home. And that will ensure that you'll have a smooth transaction and you'll feel more comfortable about what you're making an offer on.